Welcome back to First Move, and coming up we're talking about new ways to move around the world. We all rely on planes, trains and automobiles to get around. But what if our waterways and oceans could open up as the next frontier for transport innovation?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Transforming coastlines into corridors for travel and resembling futuristic business jets. Rhode Island-based startup REGENT is testing a quarter-scale prototype of its sea glider. They take off from ordinary waterfront docks, float like a boat, until the electric engines propel them about 5 to 10 meters above the water, as you saw there. The flagship model, called the Viceroy, seats 12 passengers and travels at speeds of up to 180 miles an hour, with a range of 180 miles on a single charge. There are also variants with military capabilities too. Now, REGENT's development can pick up the pace with investment from MOL Switch, a venture capital firm that is part of the Japanese shipping giant Mitsu OSK Lines. The investment will help bring REGENT sea gliders to market in Japan and coastal destinations around the world. The pair will also investigate scaling up the technology to drive large ocean-going vessels. And Billy Thalheimer is the CEO and co-founder of REGENT, and he joins us now. Welcome to the show, Billy. That was a lot of information, so hopefully we can get into more details. But I want to start by discussing the sea glider itself and sort of the concept and the vision behind that.
Absolutely. Well, Julia, thanks so much for having me on the show. So as you said, there's a lot of technical jargon there with what's going on with the sea glider. Really simply, a sea glider is a fundamentally new mode of vehicle. So sea gliders are different from, as you said, the boats, planes, trains, helicopters. Even for the first time in a long time, we have a new technology that can get people between coastal locations for lower cost, higher comfort, easier convenience, and lower carbon. Specifically, sea gliders are hybrids of boats and planes that are 100% battery powered. And so we get sort of the great convenience of being able to go down to a dock and hop right on the sea glider, plus the high speed of actually flying low over the water on a cushion of air, like you see birds flying over the water. And it's that cushion of air and that efficiency that gives these vehicles their comfort and their long range.
I think that's one of the things, at least, that will have grabbed viewers or listeners, is the fact that this can go up to speeds of, 180 miles an hour. I'm assuming it can probably go faster too. And obviously you've got a charge range of 180 miles. So to your point, it has the benefit of a speed of a plane, but also is transport on water. And I assume you go dock to dock as well.
Well, that's exactly right. Sea gliders are for maritime mobility. They're sort of leveraging underutilized waterways. When you look around the world, 40% of the world's population lives in coastal communities. When you look at places like Japan's or through the Pacific Islands, it's actually closer to 80%, 100% in places like Singapore. And so we're leveraging that sort of innate population by the coast to actually leverage the waterways for transportation. And so we have 180 miles with existing battery technology. That's 300 kilometers. And then as battery technology grows, we can expand that to closer to 500 miles or 800 kilometers over time. Again, all with zero emissions because it's battery powered and also very affordable. Using these all electric sea gliders to the passengers, the cost will actually be about half that of an airplane ticket.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's sort of a replacement for perhaps aircraft, but also ferry journeys as well. I think your point about the use here, and it makes sense why you've got Japanese investors certainly looking at this. Singapore, Indonesia is another obvious one. I believe you've secured more than 600 orders valued at $9 billion. So you can correct me if I'm wrong there, but that gives me a sense of perhaps the cost of producing one of these things. Can you give us more information about cost? And how quickly you can be up and running with a prototype, potentially? I believe next year was on the plan. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, again, sort of rotating back to Japan there, as you said, in that Japanese market, we have been very fortunate to get some incredible stakeholders in the Japanese market. We already had Japan Airlines and Yamato Transport, which is the largest logistics company, HIS, which is one of the largest travel operations and tour agencies. And now we're adding MOL Group, Mitsui OSK Lines, one of the largest ferry and shipping companies in the world. They've been in business gliders, doing maritime transportation since the 1800s. So we've built this incredible infrastructure now, cast of supporters through their strategic investment in REGENT for that Japanese market. But when we look around the world, and to your point on our order book, we have seen overwhelming support. We project that about 4 billion passengers per year can use these sea gliders because, again, we are having the cost of airplane travel while keeping that high accessibility of ferry travel. And so to the customer, REGENT here is basically the Airbus of sea gliders. So we sell them to our customers, the airlines, the ferry companies to operate these. So they are the ones placing orders. It'll be a familiar transportation company that people are riding along sea gliders with. And to the customer, the tickets are going to be half the cost, again, of airplane travel. So you look at a route in Japan, for example, going from Fukuoka to Busan over in Korea. We can do that for about an hour, under 8,000 yen today, and on a ferry that takes 4 hours today. So just to give you a sense of how much time saving and how much cost saving we can get with these sea gliders.
Wow, there was a lot of information there. 4 billion passengers a year. Has anyone done a calculation on what a carbon footprint saving that would be if that's people not taking flights? That would be an interesting calculation to do.
Well, that's a very important part of our mission because, in addition to sort of the cost and comfort and convenience of sea gliders, we also care very much about that carbon reduction. They're 100% battery electric vehicles. That means zero operational emissions from sea gliders. And so in that full case where 4 billion passengers a year are taking sea gliders, that's over 100 megatons of CO2 a year. Sort of to put that in perspective, that is 26 million cars off the road every year because people are taking faster and sort of easier travel on sea gliders.
So what's your immediate limitation? Is it producing these things? Is it money? What kind of regulation and safety considerations kick in here, Billy? What's the most immediate limitation for the company?
Well, the focus right now of the company, after last year, we proved that sea glider technology is possible, that we can do our full mission, floating, foiling to get that sort of wave tolerance in harbor, and then flying, transitioning to the wing for that high speed. Now we are ready to implement safety to put human crew on board. So we'll be putting our 15,000 pound or 7,000 kilogram prototype on the water later this year with humans on board, expecting flight early next year. The whole company is focused on that proof point of implementing human safety. And then from there, we'll transition and build up our manufacturing capabilities to deliver sea gliders to our customers worldwide. And so with our commitment to safety, that means not only the REGENT engineering team committed to safety, but working with our regulators hand in hand. So we'll be working with maritime regulators around the world, the Coast Guard in the US, the international flags, also the International Maritime Organization. We'll be working with these stakeholders to ensure from these third-party perspective that sea gliders are safe.
Fascinating. I take 1 or 2 seaplanes during the summer, so I'm just raising my hand here to tell you that when you're ready to let passengers try these things, I'm very up for it, please. Billy, great to chat to you. Stay in touch, please. Billy Thalheimer there, the CEO and co-founder of REGENT. Great to chat.